let's talk some football here with Jevon Holland. So we talked about it yesterday, from the perspective of a fan. I look at the big picture. I go, okay, 3 of the first 4 games were on the road. You guys come out of those 4 games 3-1. Anyone would have signed up for that before the season started. So do you take some solace in that? Is that something after a loss like Sunday where you go, you know what? Big picture, 3-1, we're good to go.
I don't even think big pictures on anybody's head. I think we're really focused like week to week. It's repetitive to keep saying that, but honestly, that's the mindset of the entire building is just week in, week out, like one day at a time basis. And I didn't even think of that until you said it. You know what I mean? We're 3-1, which is decent, but we want to be 4-0. It is what it is. You got to take the crickets with the straights, let the chips fall where they may, and then keep on moving to the next week. So that's why after the last game, I was like, fix what we can fix and then move on from there.
And was that the message from McDaniel? Because it doesn't. People actually, somebody asked me today. They're like, "Does McDaniel get mad?" Because we've seen him in all 3 wins and he's never mad. But then even last week or Sunday throughout the loss, like it wasn't like he was cussing and screaming at anybody. He was right over there, calm as can be.
Yeah, no, he doesn't get mad. He gets fired up because he knows that after those type of situations, we're always going to end up rising above that. You know what I mean? We're going to build off of the situation that we are in. So he never gets mad. He usually just encourages us and kind of puts fire under our belly, just wanting guys to, build off of what you messed up on and continue to grow. So he's a hell of a coach, man, and a better guy. Like he's always encouraging everybody, always making sure we're all on the same page and all got motivation day in and day out. So it's dope for sure.
And as a captain, which you are, like, do y'all kind of take on his approach to that? Because I was that's why Hawk made fun of me a couple weeks ago. I was never a captain because I would cuss your ass out if you mess up. That was the way I was raised. Like, did the captain take on how McDaniels is?
Yeah, I think it's different for every individual. Like you can't approach one person the same way that you approach another person as a captain. So I try to embody what McDaniel says to the team, but also I take it in, into my own way and talk to my teammate. If a teammate needs, if he needs to get fired up and I got to yell at him, I'll yell at him. But if I, have to approach another teammate who doesn't need that, who I can just talk to, then I'm gonna approach him that way. So I try to be as, malleable in either way to every individual person on my team, and especially on the defense, make sure that those guys get the message and that we continue to build off of it. So I'm not ruffling any feathers, because at the end of the day, it's all respect, and I want them to know that I'm coming from a place of love. I want them to play as good as possible, but I don't want them to feel like I'm just yelling at them to yell at them. Like I do no wrong like that. So yeah.
What about Vic Fangio? What about Vic Fangio? Because he strikes me as a guy who might light into a defense that gives up 48 points.
No. Vic is the same whether we win, lose. He's always real mellow, always straightforward, direct. Tells us what we do good, tells us what we do wrong, and then from then, we just take it. I always thought about it like this: you listen to all of it, take what you want from it, and let the other just go out the other ear. So that's how I see it.
And then with the so is it you're all the way out of Buffalo? Like you did the correction walkthrough and all that stuff, and now it's straight Giants.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be, otherwise you're wasting time. You're not giving the respect to the next team. You know what I mean? Because you're kind of like, oh, we'll focus on last week. You can't do that. You got to be, as soon as Tuesday happens, you got to be done preparing for the next week. So me myself, I always focus on like what personally didn't I do well in terms of like technique wise or effort wise, that I can correct in practice that will now have a better effect for me in the game. That's kind of what I take with me from the previous game, but I never take like schematic issues or things like that into the next game. Even though I know Dable came from the Bills, it's a different team, it's a different philosophy for a whole organization. So, it's a whole new entity that you got to take on week in and week out.
What about, because we've covered Mike McDaniel and Vic Fangio and you yourself as a team captain, what about your dad? Because we know that he's a former coach. Mm-hmm. And so obviously you talk to him, I'm guessing Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night, Monday morning.
What does he say?
He interesting, like over the years I've been in the league, my dad has kind of almost felt like he's drawn back from like asking me so much, like what's going on, what's this, what's that, to just allowing me to have like my own process. You know what I mean? If he has questions, I'll answer him. But he just wants to know, he doesn't really care what he knows or what you tell him, but he just wants to know what happened, what your thought process.
Because he watches as a coach still.
Yeah, of course.
Like he can't.
He watches
just
it as
watch
a player. He
Right.
understands. You know what I mean? So he's asking the question like, what was going through your head, or what kind of things were you thinking here, or what was the team's morale? How did that affect you guys in this play? So he doesn't really ask like. He doesn't really want to know what all the fans want to know. He wants to know, like, he sees a deeper level of the game, which if you play the game, if you coach the game, you have that type of thought process. So that's kind of like how he sees it. And he doesn't like always, call me like right after the game or anything like that, which is good. And I appreciate him for kind of giving me my time to like, decompress and whatnot away from the game. But no, my dad is cool, man. He just really wants to know the game because he sees it. He has DirecTV, like I told you guys, so he be rewinding stuff all the time. But he really wants to know, like, okay, what coverage were you in? And on that one play, he'll try to describe it to me. I'll be like, bro, I don't even know.
Right, not now.
Yeah, I'm like, bro,
not now, Dad.
But nah, yeah, he's great.
And it's funny because now 4 weeks in, and you talked about your dad glowing, like your mother with your donut, your donut, I guess partnership
cookies.
you had,
brownie cookie,
the brownie cookie. Sorry. And like how much you love your parents and how involved they were. Well, I tell the story where when I was at UF, I got hurt in the UF Georgia game up in Jacksonville. And when I got to the locker room, I sprained my foot. My mom was waiting with the doctors in the locker room. I don't know how the hell she got past security, but she was in the locker room hospital waiting for me to come off the field. And when I got to the NFL, I had to like have that conversation with her. Like, I'm a grown man now. I'm a professional, mommy. You got to leave these people alone. Don't call Coach Saban with the Dolphins like you call Coach Zook with the Gators.
Yeah.
If I got in trouble, did you have to have any of those coming of age conversations with your parents?
Yeah, kind of like with my dad. Like my dad and Cristobal developed a relationship just from my dad meeting him and things like that when I was in college. So I don't know if he'd send him messages or whatnot, but my dad would be like, "Yeah, Cristobal said this," and I'm like, what are you talking to him on a regular basis? So I never really knew for sure if he was talking to him or if Cristobal called him. But my dad will say like, man, don't make me come up there and have to holler at Vic, man, straighten everything out, or maybe have to holler at McDaniel. It's always funny when he says it, but I know I'm like, hey, like I don't know if he really has their number, which would be crazy. But I'm like, hey, Dad, like don't do that. Like, just stay out of it, bro. Just
cute on the phone call.
Yeah.
Like,
just
don't take it to the next level. Jevon Holland is with us at Hollywood Kia every Tuesday. So you've told us before that you're a fan of. I think you said you listened to Jim Rome when you were growing up, maybe some Colin Cowherd. Do you go out of your way, say, on yesterday, to see what the national media is saying about the Dolphins after a loss? Because, like I said, after 3-0, it's host of the NFL media. Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking about you. Do you go out of your way to watch First Take and Get Up and Good Morning Football on a Monday, either after a win or after a loss, just to see what the narrative is?
Not really.
If it's on, it's on, though? Like, you don't avoid it actively?
No, I don't really have no care for it, to be honest. I just feel like, I don't know, man. If you play the game at this level, then you know ball. But if you haven't played the game at this level or you haven't, like, coached it at this level, then I don't know, man. You don't know ball. So I'm just like, hey, I'm not really worried about it. I don't really have no care for it. That's why I said, like in a video in the locker room, like my favorite analyst is Baldy, because Baldy played it, coached it. He knows ball, and you can hear it in the way he talks. That's why I care about what he says, and I watch his breakdowns and things like that. But I don't really have no care for watching like things, especially now like Inside the NFL or Colin Cowherd.
Inside the NFL is Crowder's show.
Well, I mean, they know ball, but like I don't. Not Inside the NFL. That was just on my mind because we were talking about it earlier. No jab at you or Ocho and any of them boys.
I like that.
RC and them. They know ball, bro. They know ball.
I want to think it was a jab. I feel like it was a jab.
No jabs, Crowder. No jabs, bro. No jabs.
It's cool, bro. It's cool.
You know ball. Y'all know ball. But yeah, I got no care for that, man. It doesn't do anything for me. But if I'm hearing it and we're winning, it's just smoke and mirrors. And if we're losing, it's just shadows and clouds. And I don't need to darken up my day. So it is what it is.
But, for you young individuals, that social media, bro, I know those first couple weeks were glowing, and I don't know what they've been saying to you lately, but I remember I ain't even go on social media like that. People were showing me theirs of people cussing my ass out.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, social media, when we was winning, I mean, it was, sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, but it's quiet now. You lose one game, that's why I say, bro, you go from 0 to 0. Like, it's crazy. People just, 1 minute, you the best, oh, you the GOAT, da, da, da. You lose, you're the worst ever, cut him, get him off the team. It's like, bro, you can't win, man. You can't win. So you just, hey, it is what it is. Appreciate your passion, brother, but
actually, that 09 Tony Gonzalez game in Atlanta, when he was eating me up all game, they had somebody showed me a picture of Tony holding me like a little baby. He was my dad, and he was holding me, and I had my little face and his face on the dad and the baby. And I didn't appreciate it.
Nah. You definitely see some memes. You like,
I didn't even see this today.
Like, but hey, you just shrug it off. It is what it is, man.
What's the give us a sneak preview tonight of what we'll see, Crowder, on Inside the NFL? What are RC and Ocho Cinco? What is everyone saying about the Dolphins' loss to Buffalo? Without giving away the entire show.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of Josh Allen to Diggs, because he had the hat trick. So and they had them, they were mic'd up, and so they had all the audio of them talking and him doing hat trick, and him screaming in the crowd and all. So a lot of Buffalo excitement. He broke down the 3 shell. It was more about how the Bills slowed down the Dolphins' offense that scored 7. That was the whole surprise. They were like, how the hell could the team score 70 and then only score 20 the next week? So we broke down how they stopped them with that 3-4 shell, Patch Madden underneath and all. So we really did some football breakdown this week.
Does the loss to Buffalo bother you more than a loss to an opponent, say, and we haven't had one this season other than that one, but an opponent that's not in the division? Because that's the team that you have to hurdle, right? Everyone kind of knows Buffalo is the AFC East reigning champs, so that's the team you have to hurdle. Does it bother you extra or not?
Loss is a loss. I just hate losing.
Yeah.
I don't care who is it to. I just hate losing. But 16 weeks or week 17, we'll see him again. I mean, that's just the way the league schedule is this year, so it is what it is.
I mean, you got him 3 times last season.
Yeah. One was in a blizzard, and it was freezing.
Solana was talking about that earlier, because Solana was at that Buffalo game where they were throwing snowballs and stuff. But you didn't get hit by any snowballs during that game?
No, I didn't get hit by any snow. It was freezing, though. And I hurt my neck that game, so I had to wear a neck brace, too, or not a neck brace, but like a cowboy collar. Yeah. I looked like a linebacker at safety. It was terrible. I couldn't move my head back or nothing like that. It was terrible.
Anyway, Jevon Holland will be with us Tuesdays every Tuesday for an hour here at Hollywood Kia. It's Pembroke Road and 441. They've got the Giants coming up this Sunday, and that's a 1:00 game at Hard Rock Stadium. And then Carolina, correct? At Hard Rock, Solana?
Yeah.
So then Carolina.
1 p.m.
And then prime time against the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles, who know if they will be 3 weeks from now. But that's the upcoming Dolphins schedule. I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but Jevon is the number 2 ranked safety, according to Pro Football Focus. So your season continues on at a stellar level. And what do you do today, rest of the day, rest of the evening, to clear your head and then start focusing tomorrow at practice on the Giants?
I'm going to go home and probably play some video games. I actually got to update my PC that I'll be playing video games on, so I'm going to go home and do that. Chill. Just
order in some food, maybe?
Actually, I got half of a sandwich from Substantial Subs on off of 826 and 57th. Fire food over there. Go check that out. Bomb chicken sandwich. And then, that's about it. Maybe play with my cat.
Jevon, I heard these young
dudes. He bought a cat, Crowder. He bought a cat.
I already had a cat.
You had one? I thought you adopted one.
No. Not yet. I was looking, though. I'm looking.
You could drop that cat off somewhere, too. Clear your mind.
He's the worst. He is the worst.
But Jevon, I've heard some crazy stuff out of the young guy. Now I'm the old guy. I understand it. Do you have any crazy stuff to get prepared? Like, we get in a hot tub, cold tub, we get a massage. I heard nowadays y'all go in, y'all get big wooden things rubbed on your legs and all kind of stuff. You have any crazy regiments?
Nah, I'm hot tub, cold tub. Maybe cryo. Cryo's a new thing. I'll do cryo too. Wooden. I don't know what that is. That might be new for me. I'm 3 years in. That might be a rookie kind of thing. I don't know. But
they called it roughing or something, where they rub big wooden poles on your legs, and I don't know. They say it hurts like hell, but it loosens your tendons. I don't know, man. Listen, I drank B&A chicken wings all week. That was my
loosen your tendons?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't even want to do that. I don't know. I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna be with you on this one. I'm gonna stay away from that. Loosening my tendons is something I would not want to do at all. But yeah, I don't know, man.
We found some common ground today, and we found some things that we differ on. The common ground is Pulp Fiction. Everyone, including Solana, like Pulp Fiction. I put some video on Instagram during the commercial break of Solana talking about the movie Stripes, which is an all-time classic. And Jevon, who's younger than Solana, Jevon going, what? You don't like Stripes? Like Stripes, there's something wrong if you can't enjoy Stripes.
It's a classic movie, man. It's a classic.
I disagree. I really do disagree, man.
I don't get that.
I was hoping you'd be on my side too.
Nah, not this one, man. Not this one. That's no.
He calls it like he sees it. That's what I love about Jevon. He calls it like he sees it.
Yeah, you know, like I'll watch Stripes, and then like I'll be in like I want to watch another military movie, you know.
Yeah.
The thing is, I love like war movies, military movies. When I tell you, because Hawk hyped it up as this all-time classic.
It is a classic.
It is.
When I tell you I sat in front of my TV and I paid attention and I didn't crack a smile for 90 minutes.
But admittedly, you don't have a great sense of humor.
Well, I think that's up for debate. That happens to be up for debate.
Not so certain. All right, Jevon Holland, we'll let you go. We wish you luck on Sunday against the Giants. And don't forget, he will be with us here at Hollywood Kia every Tuesday for a full hour. And Crowder will be with us here at Hollywood Kia on Tuesday, October 17th. So don't forget about that. Thank you, as always, for stopping by to talk to us.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the video games and the half a sub. What is your sub order? What is the official order?
At the substantial place, it's called the Bomb, but at my favorite sub or hoagie spot, it's in Davie.
Laspadas?
Laspadas?
Yes, sir.
I knew you remember.
Let's go.
When they throw the cold cuts across the counter into the loaf, into the hoagie, is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen?
So I was in there with my dad the first time I went a couple weeks ago, and I see the dude start putting it on the little paper. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then I'm like, yo, like, what are you? And then the lady catches it with the bread. I'm like, oh, I thought such a thing here. And there's
like a dinner show.
I thought he was about to just throw my sandwich. I was like, yo, what's up with you? But hey, it surprised me. It was cool though. From then on, I was like, yo, throw my sandwich across the room, man.
The accuracy is crazy though, right? It's like 2 at a Tyreek.
No, literally,
crazy.
It's great. On the dot every time. Then they throw in a seasoning and stuff. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Laspadas is legit, right?
Yeah. The Italian on the wheat.
I would just like to point out quickly, because they make fun of my sub order. Hungry Bear and Substantials, I believe, are the same owners or used to be the same owners.
So you get the steak bomb.
He
gets the chicken bomb.
The bomb is good, man.
Boom.
I'm telling you, it's good. There's some barbecue on there. No cap.
What makes it a bomb?
You said what?
What makes it a bomb?
It's just a name, honestly. I mean, it tastes good. You got to kind of doctor it up. It's kind of like make your own.
Crowder, you are becoming your dad. you are because that's what Randy would say. What makes it a bomb? Do they have avocado on it?
Gotta use the Haas, Chan, the big avocado.
His dad loves to make
guacamole.
He's got very particular about his avocados. All right. From Hollywood Kia, Jevon Holland. They've got the Giants next Sunday, Hard Rock Stadium. Thank you, Jevon.
Yes, sir.
We will take a break. We'll come back with more Hochman and Crowder.